Hello, everyone, and welcome back to iSV Season 8 here on the Impulse SV supporter server. My name is Ashley, and I'm making this video to give an overview of one of the projects that's happening here on the server this season, and that project is the Superhighway project. And I'm going to answer some questions about it. There have been a lot of people wondering how they can help, and hopefully this will help answer some of those questions that people have been asking me. And I think a video just makes more sense because there's a lot to cover. And so first of all, we'll just cover what is this project. This is the Highway Project, and what it is it's a large overworld uh, tunnel, highway, whatever you'd like to call it, that goes all the way from spawn at 00 until the world borders at 8,000. Now, if you are unaware, ISV runs primarily on 3 overworld servers that are kind of connected all together, and each of those has its own highway. So, starting in the center of each world, there is going to be a highway that spreads out in each of the 4 cardinal directions along the 0 axis in 8,000 blocks each way. So, if you're doing some math in your head right now, yes, this is a very large project. It is, each server will require 32,000 blocks of highway in order to be complete. And we have done a lot of work already. As you can see, I'm running along the highway now, but there is still a ton of work to do. And so if you've been wanting to get involved, but you're really not sure how, hopefully this video will help you answer some questions and kind of get you motivated or excited as it does for me. I'm very excited about this project. I've been working on it all season, on and off, and I'm having a ton of fun, but unfortunately it is a little bit too big for even even just for me and a couple other people. And as you can see, we've run out of highway, so there is a ton left to do. Um, so we are back at the entrance to the tunnel where we came out of before, and I am going to cover some of the different ways you can get involved in the project here. And hopefully, if there's something that spikes your interest, you can go to the timestamp in that video. I'll try to remember to put them on the screen. If they're there, I remembered. If they're not, I most likely forgot, which happens a lot. So just bear with me. But we will try and cover all the different things that you can do to help with the highway project. There is something for everybody. So if you're a builder, there's lots of building projects. If you're a resource gatherer, we have lots of resources to gather. We even have just some really grindy building that you can do. You don't need any kind of creative abilities. I think everybody's creative in their own way, but some people would doubt that. But if you don't believe in your creative abilities, I have something in this for you. All you have to do is copy and paste and place blocks. So if that's something that you are interested in, feel free to stick around. Before we get involved in all the different things that we can do, I just want to answer a couple of questions that are probably cropped up already. And so let's just cover those super quick. So the first question that you're probably wondering is, why is my horse glowing? The reason for that is I easily lose my horse. That's why he's tied up on a lead. But I can see him from far away. So that's just me doing weird things because I tend to lose my horse. So just ignore that. The second question, probably the more important one, is why? Why are we building this highway? And that is up to you to decide. We are just having some fun. We thought it would be a fun project, a fun season-long project that would take a long time to complete and to work on, give some people creative freedoms in how they want to build, what they want to build, and also just to show that ISV is just a good place to be for community involvement, because this is a project that everybody can get included in. So that's the best answer I have, I suppose. But mostly, I guess the best answer for that is just to have fun, because why not, right? Why not? I guess that's the best answer. First task that requires no creative ability whatsoever is resource gathering. So if that's up your alley, which I mean, we have a lot of people here on ISV who really like to gather resources, then boy, do I have the project for you. So we're here at the entrance where we came out of before, and you can see on my screen the coordinates are 1500 on the x-axis. We're here in Fred, and over here, the reason I'm here, this is the main storage hub for the highway project. So you can see the sign there, Superhighway Project Storage, and you can just pop down here, and over here is the storage area. So if we just pop over here, you can see everything is in chests and labeled for donations, or if you're building, take from here as well. So if you have excess cobblestone at your base that you don't need any for anything, feel free to pop it in here and be used for that. So same goes for any of these resources. So if you extra oak, maybe you want it, or maybe you just want to go cut down forest. I don't know what you do you. But I will gladly take those resources off your hand and they will be used for the highway project. I've been struggling to wrap my head around just how many resources we do need for this project. I've already gone through multiple shulkers of stone, probably several double chests worth of stone. So uh, there is a lot to collect. So if that's something that you want to do and it sounds like a good time to you. We have a lot of grindy people here on ISV. So feel free to donate. If you are not sure how to find this place, just send me a message on Discord or in the server when you see me online and just give me a shout and say, hey, where can I donate my items? And I will direct you to where to go, or I'll just come find you and take it off your hands. So uh, that is first that how you can contribute to the highway. All right, so the second job that you could do if you have no creative talent, or so you think, is lighting up. I know it's really boring. We hear it all the time, light up, light up, light up. But it is true, building the highway can be pretty dangerous if you're the first one in the area. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's pop out of F5. See, that's why I have my glowing horse. I'm still in F5. There we go. Let's go pop upstairs to the highway and I'll show you what I mean. So if we come over here, luckily it's the middle of the day, I didn't check what time it was. You can see there are some torches kind of just around here, just on the most immediate part around the highway. This is what has just been put around here to keep us safe, but it was very dangerous building in here. So if you want something to do that doesn't require much skill, I guess, you can just come along the length of the highway and it goes in a straight line. So the highway doesn't even have to be built for you to put it down, and just put some torches out. Ideally, we'll go out 5 chunks from the highway. If we turn on chunk borders, it'll be 1, 2, 3. I'm sure you guys can count, but we're going to do it anyway. 4, 5. So you're going to go all the way to over here. Ideally, I mean, it doesn't have to be that far, even just immediately around there. So I'm not getting shot by skeletons, while building the road. That's super helpful. But that's something you can definitely do to help out as well. And then, even if you want to go above and beyond, you can do some of the caves underground. And I know that doesn't affect anything with, the building of the highway, but in the future, when the highway is actually completed, maybe, possibly, if that day ever comes, when we're running across the highway, running across that road, we are going to be loading mobs as we run. Ideally, those caves would be lit up so that mobs are not spawning and then despawning as we run along it. So if that's something you want to do, if caving's your jam, then definitely feel free to light up all along the underside of the highway. It doesn't have to go all the way down. See, you can see that skeleton rattling in the subtitles. So he's under there. He's spawning, even though I can't see him. So feel free. You don't have to go all the way down to the bottom. Just, as far as, we're going to reach from when you're up there, I guess. So even just a little ways down, every little bit helps, right? So that is definitely something you can do. Now, if you guys are saying, Ashley, I don't want to light up and I don't want to go resource gathering, I want to help build the highway, but I don't have any building skill. Well, I have lots of blocks to place. Don't worry, I've got a job for you. So there are a couple places where you can just place blocks in a long straight line. And when I say a couple places, I mean about 8,000 blocks in each direction. So first things first, I have come all the way out here. You can see my coordinates. We're over at 6,000. So this is the same highway that we were working on way, 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 way over there, except now we're way, way, way over here. So this is as far as it's done. I actually didn't know how far it had been done until, so I just ran out here with my horse, who looks like he's about to fall off the ledge, but he should be fine. He's glowing, I'll find him. And so yeah, as you can see here, this is just a stone platform, and that's all it needs to be. And you can continue this. It just needs to continue at Y84. So you can see on my coordinates, we are at Y84. Even if you press F3, you can see it shows my coordinates at Y84. And all you need to do is make a 2 wide path, and there should already be this one up here, so it should be pretty easy to find the center. But if you are unsure where the center is, you can turn on your chunk border. So that's F3 and G if you are unaware. And you can see that we are in the center of two chunks. And that is because if you look at this side, let's press F3 again because it's going to be consistent. And if you look at this side, you can see it says -0. And on this side, it's +0. And so this is the very zero coordinate of this axis. If you're using your die map or the coordinates HUD at the bottom of the screen, it shows it as -1. And so this can be a little bit confusing. As a result, I do think there are a couple of highways that have already been built on the wrong coordinates, but that's totally okay. Just follow what's already there. And as long as as long as it's all the same, I really don't care. But yeah, you can see down on the coordinates HUD and on my die map on the right hand corner, you can see that this side says 0 and this side says -1. It really doesn't matter as long as you're either following what's already existing or you turn on chunk borders and make sure you're on the two sides of that. And all you need to do is place blocks. And there you go. Totally easy, grindy work. And this is where it can get dangerous. If these areas aren't lit up, you can get shot down by a skeleton and stuff. So just do be careful. I have definitely had my fair share of falls off of this highway. So yeah, and you can go as long as you want. You can do one wide. Do make sure that you light up this path as you go because it's easy to just get carried away and make a block or make a pathway that's, 100, 200, 300 blocks long and none of it's lit up and then you've got bad news bears. So that's one job that you can do if you want to place blocks. The other one, which I'll cover here in a moment, is this one right up here. And I don't actually have any paths that aren't complete on this side of the highway, but it's essentially the same thing. You're going to place these blocks in the center on the two sides of the chunk border, and then you're going to place soul soil on top of that because that's where the running path is. And actually, let's turn off our chunk borders here and we'll just pop over there, up there. Apologies for the clickety clack of my computer. Oh, this one's not done. So yeah, this is perfect. So I can show you here. So this one, it's going to be Y89 is where you're going to place that stone pathway, and we can turn on chunk borders again so you can see what I mean. So it's on either side of the chunk border. You're going to place the two. And then on top of that is going to be soul soil, not soul sand, soul soil. The reason we use soul soil and not soul sand is because when you don't have soul speed on your boots, soul sand will slow you down, whereas soul soil will not. So we don't want those people who don't have that enchantment to be super slowed down. So soul soil only for the highways. And then once you place that at Y90, you're gonna go all the way to the world border at 8,000 in each way. So that's the next job I have for you. I was just running back from the far end of the highway and I found where that soul soil ends. So I just wanted to say that if you wanted to come and fill in the rest of the soul soil, you can come to precisely 3780 East on Fred. Just follow along the highway and fill in the soul soil. I'm sure it's all the way to the world border at 8,000. So if you have 4,000 soul soil sitting around, or you can go grab what you can from the storage system that I did show earlier, feel free to come in here and start filling in this entire row down here. This one. How do I play Minecraft? This one right here. Excuse me, horse. Where are you going? You can fill in this entire row. Just go on down here and just fill it in with soul soil. And I've given you the wrong coordinates now because now I'm filling it in. And that's literally all you need to do. And if you break torches, just put them back and carry on. Or if you're using, a light overlay, you can just put torches where they need to go. Yeah, so as you can see, torches. So that's the next job you can do. And so now your total is at 3809. So you can come over here to 3809 and just start placing down some soul soil. That's the same one I just covered, but I just wanted to show you where that is in case you wanted to jump in and start over here. If this is already done by the time you get here, which it might be, there is this job in every single direction. So take your pick in every server. So Fred, Sakura, I can't press the right buttons here. There we go. There's too many keys on a keyboard. But feel free to jump over to Sakura, Octavia, or Fred and find a path that is not done, because I guarantee there's several that are not done. Okay, bye. Next, we have something a little bit more involved. Still doesn't require any kind of creativity. So if you feel like placing blocks, this is a nice one as well. So as you can see, the highway here is supported by a whole bunch of pillars. And conveniently, these pillars are placed on every chunk corner. And so if I just exit out of F5 here again, I apparently don't know how to use F5. But if we just exit out of there, you can see that that is built wrong. Let's go to this one. Pretend that doesn't exist. So you can see that it's on the chunk corners, and each pillar is 4 blocks total. So it's 2 by 2, bordering that corner. And so everyone except for you on is on the corner here. And to make it easier to build later on, what you can do is you can come through here and you can place some blocks at every single corner to make sure that it's it's all going to be aligned properly. So let's go find an area where the pillars are not built, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's turn off these junk borders because that's super annoying. And eventually we're going to cover digging because there is a lot of digging to do. These ones are all dug out, but there are plenty you can do. Looks like these ones are all done, and this one here is a little bit different because it's water, so we're not going to cover that as well. I probably should have been prepared, figured out where I needed to go before I started recording, but here we go. Here's a nice area. So this is actually perfect. We're in a birch forest right over here. I don't think it's a birch forest, it's just a forest, but either way, we just happen to have some birch blocks here with us. Let's turn those chunk borders back on, and what we want to do is outline where the pillars are going to go so that you or somebody else coming along to build the pillars in the future knows exactly where they're going to go without having to turn on chunk borders and think about it. So you can just place 4 blocks. It doesn't have to be any kind of, it can be any kind of material, just because this isn't going to be visible. This is going to be hidden. So just on the platform there. So you can do that on every single chunk corner, and you may have to dig out some blocks to make it level. So for example, this here, you can see, I mean, that's already cut in the right position, but if there was some grass in your way, you can break it. Like, we don't need to follow the terrain perfectly. So now, as you can see, we're getting these pillar positions ready for when the next person needs to come through and start placing them down. And that just makes it really easy to, just make everything very systematic. Here we go. Here's a good example. So we can come through here and we can break those blocks so that's nice and even, and there we go. So just like that, super easy. And this is one I already did before, so we can just leave that as is because, like I said, material doesn't matter. So just keep on going, and you can do that for the entire length of wherever you are. And sometimes in this situation, you're like, well, I'm not sure if I should put it up or down. Just do whatever you think. I'm going to put it right there, and it really doesn't matter in the long run because who's going to be coming and looking at individual pillars except for me and realizing that they're in the wrong place while I'm recording. So chances are that happening to you pretty slim. That only happens to me. So here we go. So next one. And yeah, we'll just do that. And there we go. And you can do that all the way down, all the way to the end. If you wanted to build the actual pillars up, you can do that as well. And just bear in mind that every single biome has a bit of a different design. And we're just going to use birch for this. I think it's supposed to be oak, but I have some birch on me. And so we're just going to, for example, we are going to build it up like this and so on. I don't actually know what Y level is supposed to go at. I probably should have figured that out before I started recording, but I will find out for you. And if I remember, I will be smart and I'll put it on screen. But I am not a YouTuber, so I don't remember these things. But if I remember, I'll put it on screen, what Y level you should build this pillar up to. If not, too bad, so sad. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. All right, so that's another one that you can do, and like I said, requires a little bit more thinking because you have to turn on chunk borders and kind of look at things. But again, anybody can do this. It's not hard at all. So that's one more thing that you can do. And moving on. All right, let's make this one a little bit quicker here because I think the sun is starting to go down. Either that or I'm losing my mind because now I can't find the sun. But either way, this one here is a little bit more creative. It still doesn't require a whole lot of thinking, but it is, kind of somewhere in the middle. So one job that you can do if you're feeling, like placing some blocks, but want a little bit more involvement, what we are going to be doing is placing these slabs over top of the soul soil. And so as you can see, it doesn't change the effects of the soul soil. You still get the speed effect. And so these are entirely random. So we have tiled deep slate, I believe. Let me just get the name of that. Deep slate tile slab and the polished deep slate slab. And these are entirely random. So you can just grab these two. It's the only two that cover over the path, and just whatever randomized pattern you feel. You can use the shuffle mod if that's easier for you, but that is a job that needs to be done once all the soil is placed down. All right, moving on. All right, guys, so we're over at another part of the highway. We're actually on the western side of Fred. And the reason I'm over here is because there's a whole bunch of path that is not complete yet. So I thought this would be a good place to show you what kind of things we can work on. I also wanted to kind of finish up this video here and break it apart into multiple videos because I do know we're getting pretty long. And so what we'll do is we'll release this video with kind of the simpler things that we can do, and then I'll make another video here in the future with some of the more difficult or complex things we can do. And then this gives us a good starting point for getting the highway kind of in place. So there's still lots to do within this video, so I'm not worried about that. So let's start with this, and hopefully soon-ish I'll get another video released. I'm not a YouTuber, so they do take me a while to make. This is the first time I've ever made a video. It doesn't come naturally to me. We'll just put it that way. So yeah, I'm just going to cover one of the things that we can do here, and it comes to this highway portion right here. So what I did cover is the soul soil. So I mentioned putting the soul soil over the too wide block right here. Oh my gosh, my inventory is completely full, so now I've lost that soul soil. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. So what I didn't mention is putting these blocks right here, and yeah, that needs to be done as well. So I'm not even going to show you because it's pretty obvious, but yeah, so you're going to put almost like this bowl, so it's going to be bordering on either side of the soul soil, and then you have the two wide stone that we did speak about earlier on in the video, and this is really annoying. Why am I carrying a lily pad? And once you have this bowl shape, we do need to make it wider. So it's going to go wider in both directions. And the shape that it's going to be is, first, you're going to put these upside down stairs. And these just go all the way down, and not like that. All the way down the highway, just like so. And eventually some of these blocks will have texturing, but for the sake of just getting the highway finished, we're not going to worry about that right now. And so yeah, just keep going all the way, and that's it. Just place in blocks. And then farther out, you're actually going to place two layers of slabs, two rows of slabs. So again, just all the way out. Just keep going, and you're going to do that to both of them all the way out. So it's going to be total of 4 wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on either side of the soul soil. And you're going to do that on both sides of the soul soil. Apparently I can't place blocks today. So again, it's going to be over here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so on. I don't know why I'm counting those, but just keep going. And it's going to go this wide all the way down. So all the way down to each end, you're going to have this exact same pattern. This will not change. So you can just do this all the way down. And actually, I can use this to show you this part of the highway that is not complete yet. So you can see it's been started, and it's also a different pattern because we're in a savanna biome. So this is an example of what I mean when I said changes depending on what biome you're in. Also, this is one of the highway sections that's not aligned with the correct place, but that's totally fine because the whole thing is the same. So if you are building on this one, just keep that in mind. And this, again, this is western side of Fred. So yeah. And so I am going to actually end this here. Hopefully I can remember what I was doing with this video. And there will be another one coming out here in the near future, hopefully. And if, if I don't release one, poke me, say, Ashley, we want more to do. And if that's the case, hopefully that means that lots has been done already, because I know you're all super excited like I am, right? Right? But yeah, that's all I'm going to do for now. And I hope this helped answer some questions of like, what can I do? How can I help? That sort of thing. I will hopefully edit everything. If you have any questions, please do ask me in the Discord. There is an entire channel in the Discord about this topic. There's some pinned posts with some really helpful information that should help you, hopefully, with visuals. It has like pictures of oh, that tornado's still going. It has some visuals of what sorts of blocks, you know, get placed where the tunnels, coordinates, all of that jazz. Pretty much everything I covered here, except in more detail and more wordy. So if words aren't your thing, maybe not, but it does have pictures, so that helps. I know for me it does. All right, let's quit there, and if I remember anything else, there will be more to this video, but thank you so much for all your help and wanting to participate in this project, because I do love it, and I'm having a ton of fun. Also losing my voice, because that happens when I talk too much. So thank you again, and bye-bye for now.